Welcome to the Real Retirees of New Jersey, powered by Liberty Financial Group and Artemis Wealth Advisors. Randy and Peggy Fisher want to help you retire once and retire right. Get more information at therealretireesofnewjersey.com. They never throw the first punch, but they're always a knockout.
And listen, I don't ever make promises or guarantees, but I got a good feeling you're going to enjoy this show. Thanks so much for streaming The Real Retirees of New Jersey with Peggy and Randy Fisher, all powered by Liberty Financial Group and Artemis Wealth Advisors. My name is Mark Owens. Get all the information here in the show notes. With that being said, let's talk a little DIY, do-it-yourself retirement planning. And we got some pros, we got some cons, and we got Randy Fisher, who is ready to go. How y'all doing?
Doing great today.
Doing good.
Yeah? All right, Randy. So let's kick it off. DIY. If somebody comes to you and the first thing they say, Randy, is, well, I don't need help with my income. I DIY. I DIY my taxes. I DIY my Social Security. I just need help with one little thing. What's your first response, overall thought process of a DIY retirement plan?
Good luck.
All right.
I'll be the force be with you.
I mean, good luck, right? I mean, everybody's got a job. Everybody's got a specialty. Everybody does something really well, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, one of the questions I always ask everybody is you may enjoy managing your own money, or you may think you're good at managing your own money, but what do you do for a living?
Right.
You know, and if you did manage money really well,
You should be doing it for a
you
living.
probably wouldn't be talking to me.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Or us, or anybody.
Yeah.
You'd be probably doing it for a living.
Right.
Right? So, you know, if you were really good at working on cars, or if you were really good at project management, or you're really good at law or doctoring or whatever it is,
Right.
that's your specialty.
Yes.
Now, it doesn't mean you can't do something else, because there are a lot of other people that do try to manage their own monies, right? But the responsibility that comes with it and the intricacies to details and the non-emotional management of your nest egg,
That's big.
is a huge factor when it comes to retirement income planning,
Right,
or even just retirement planning, right? So, I mean, yeah, there's pros and cons to everything, but a do-it-yourselfer normally starts out with a small amount of success, which goes to their head, which thinks that no matter what they do is going to basically lead to success. And normally, whatever they're doing is not their doing.
Yeah.
It's the market.
Right.
So it's like, you know, if you win the lottery, you have to play the lottery to win the lottery.
Yep.
If you don't play the lottery, you're never going to win it.
Yeah.
If you're not in the market when the market's going up, you're not going to obviously take advantage of that, right?
Yep.
But when it does go up, you think that you did it.
Right.
Right? Or they think they
did it, right.
Meanwhile, they were just a byproduct of the ride.
Yeah.
But when the market goes down, all they want to do is blame somebody else or blame the market, not their fault of being either overextended, overallocated,
Not knowing
totally
what they're doing.
concentrated, whatever it may
Right.
be.
Yep.
Chasing returns. I mean, the list goes on,
Yeah,
right?
we've seen it all.
We've seen it all. So, I mean, it's not to say that you cannot effectively manage your own funds. That's not what we're
and
saying.
hey, listen, we have a lot of clients who may take, whatever, a very small portion of their funds.
There's a difference between a fund size account.
Fun, F-U-N.
Fun.
Right, exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
And a nest egg.
Exactly.
Right?
You don't want to take your nest egg and be like, okay, I'm going to throw it to the wind. Where you take your little portion of it and you want to play with that. Okay, we always say, have fun. Randy always says, have fun. Do what you want to do with that. Let us take, the reins
and
of the
quite
other
frankly, if you're a do-it-yourselfer and you're just absolutely stubborn that you want to be in total control,
Yeah.
you're not going to work with anybody.
No, and we've had many people who've come to us and sat down with us, and that maybe they just weren't the right fit because we knew right away they want, and sometimes they want to, but they just can't give the control up. They can't do it. They cannot do it.
But do you think it's also kind of the fear of the unknown? It's like, I've been doing this for so long, and while I think you're great people, while I'm sure you're amazing at your job, this is my money, and I keep it close to me, and I don't want anybody else to touch it or look at it.
We just had two sisters come in, right? The one sister handled the other sister's money. She literally thought she was a guru of
guru who lost $1 million.
She lost $1 million for her and her sister.
Yeesh.
And her sister was still hanging on with her, right? Because it's her sister.
Not a lick of sense.
So you say, like...
And I really feel bad for her.
Yeah, we do.
Because
We
she
did.
was just, she was along for the ride.
She was along for the ride. And, we said in the meeting, like, the one who thought she knew it all, the one sister thought she knew it all, well, what happened? And she's like, well, I lost $1 million. What? Like, and then the other sister just sat there, like, and looked at her. And then we said, do you thinking about like turning this over? And then they were thinking about turning it over. And in the end, the one sister just could not pull the trigger and they didn't end up doing it. And all I could think about.
Well, they pulled the trigger to the point of they were ready to go.
They were.
But then every single solitary
was a
decision.
Question. Everything was questioned. Everything was questioned.
Question as to run it by
the older sister, right?
Who actually was the guru of loss.
Of the $1 million.
Yeah. And she wanted to put her blessing on every single solitary thing that went on.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's not discretionary trading authority.
Right.
That's not what we do.
It's just that she could not give up the control. And you know what? You have to let that kind of client go. You got to go. Because we can't work like that. And and obviously you can't give up control. But again, like we said, I just felt so bad for the one sister who hung in there because it's her sister, who is not a financial planner or not an expert in any kind of finances.
Yeah.
Hence, she lost $1 million of it, but she still, was like, okay, I'm just going to go with what we. And then also too, they had a funny, crazy thing is they had 2 annuities, which the sister, bought variable annuities, and those were sinking ships, and
full of fees,
costs, and charges.
And the best was the benefits that they thought she thought they had,
right?
She didn't have,
no,
right? So that's the biggest problem. She was her own worst enemy.
She was.
Which it wasn't just for her. Yeah. It was compounded because it's now affecting 2 families.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And what's worse is the husbands on, I think, both sides, if I remember correctly.
Were out of it. They were out of it.
They were in bad shape.
Yeah.
Let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
From a physical standpoint and a mental standpoint, they just couldn't handle anything. So you have these 2 women trying to do the best they can for their families, but it was really one person at the helm that was trying to drive across America with no map.
Yeah. And the one sister even said to us at the time, and the other sister said, "I think I'm going to give up some of this. I don't want to affect her family with this." Yeah. But she still couldn't do it. She could not do it.
Well, then let's do this. Let's go over some more of these
pros and cons.
Yeah, you see this every day, and that's a great example of it too. And so, we've kind of built up a list of the biggest pros and the biggest cons, and we don't have to go in any order. Just pick some out and tell me about what you see like this situation almost on a daily basis, the good and the bad of a DIY.
Well, I always think the first thing that all of those DIYers say is, what's your fee? How much are you charging?
What's it going to cost?
What's it going to cost? And then Randy will always say whatever his fee and cost is, and he'll say, listen, if I can't make you that in a portfolio,
I should go dig ditches.
He said that. I should go pump gas. Mm-hmm. Because if I can't make you at least that, then I shouldn't be doing this in business, right?
And most of the time I make that in less than a month.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
So, what their entire annual fee is. So.
But then again, too, in their little heads, they still say, oh, but I got to pay someone to do something. Well, listen, when you go to the chiropractor, do I have to pay him a fee? Yes. When I go to the car specialist, do I have to pay them to do it? The plumber, do I have to pay him to do the service? Yes. What do you think it is? For free? That's crazy.
A fee in the absence of value is a fee.
Right.
If you're getting something from what you're paying for, that's called alpha in this industry.
Yeah.
If you, think about it. I always tell the people this. If you go to a restaurant, you just paid $300 for a 2-person meal.
Yes.
And you walk out of there full, happy.
It was a great meal.
The great meal. Yeah. The service was extraordinary.
Yeah.
You're not going to be dissatisfied going home, right?
Yeah.
But if you leave and the service was terrible, the
tasted
food
like
was burnt,
whatever,
it was garbage,
and you paid a big
you had
price
to go to McDonald's on the way home because you were still starving, that's terrible alpha, right? So you didn't get what you paid for,
right?
So if you're going to pay for somebody to manage your portfolio, to provide financial advice for you, you better be getting something for it, right? Which is the opposite of what many people actually get from their financial advisor.
Right.
Because a lot of times people go to a financial advisor, they stick them in an allocation, which was probably put together by a computer program.
It wasn't active managing.
And all they keep hearing is just stay invested.
Yeah, stay for the course. Stay for the course.
Just stay invested.
Right.
Just stay invested. Really? So the market's dropping by 30, 40, 50%, and I'm just going to hang on for the hell of it.
Yeah.
Well, what is the difference if I have 30 years until I retire or if I have 30 days until I retire? Yeah. Is there a difference? Sure, there is.
There is.
But the problem is a lot of these people are basically cookie cutters. So they basically put together a program and everybody fits into the same category. That's terrible. Mm. That's not advice. That's literally paying for something that you're not getting something from.
Right. So you want to pay an advisor for actively managing, which is what we do here.
Well,
Absolutely.
active advice.
Yeah, right.
Active
Exactly.
advice.
Yeah.
And that doesn't always mean to do something, and it always doesn't mean do nothing.
Right.
But there should be a reason and a rationale behind the strategy for what happens.
Yeah.
And it shouldn't always be just invest for all reasons in all seasons and stay invested forever.
Yeah.
That's asinine. Right? But a lower cost, it's not always a lower cost. Let me give you an example. You know, I don't even have a screwdriver and a hammer in the house that I really like to keep there because then Peggy makes me do something. But let's say if I'm working on the sink. Now, could I eventually get by and do it? Yeah, I could do it. So thinking, well, if I call a plumber, it's going to cost me X number of dollars. But if I try to do it myself, there's a Home Depot around the corner. I can probably go over there and talk to the guy and see if I can get the pieces and come home and fix it, right? Well, you after the fourth trip going back and forth and the stuff's leaking and the crap ain't fitting right and everything else, right? And you just spent 9 times more than you probably would to spend to get the plumber there.
Yeah.
You got to call him anyway. Right. So lower cost doesn't always mean lower cost. Right. It could mean a lot more expensive in the future. So, you know, you get what you pay for. The other option is this. If you have a financial advisor that can add 3, 4, 5% a year on your portfolio values, do you think that that's worth it?
Yeah, I do.
I mean, think about that. Over a long haul, what are you really getting? I mean, that's exponential value and growth. That's tremendous.
Right.
That's impactful. Right? So even if you have to pay that person 1% a year, but they're making you an additional 3, 4, 5% on top of what you would have already been making, that's an unbelievable win.
It sure is.
Right? So lower cost doesn't always mean better.
Right.
What's another one? Complete control? Well, we kind of went over that.
We definitely went over that one.
So, I mean, you got people that are just, you know, listen, you have A type of personalities that think that they know everything and they can do everything. Okay.
I like to, they have here education and empowerment. So education, I love that one too. They think, oh, I read it online, so I know what I'm doing, right? We hear that all the time. Well, I looked it up. I read, or my friend told me that he knows blah, blah, blah. And we should all do this. You know what I mean? Oh, we hear that all the time too, you know.
That's why, again, everybody is unique. Situations are similar, but they're not exact.
Right.
Yeah. So everybody has to look through the lens of what is best for me.
Right.
Not what's best for us.
And what my friend Joe did is not the same thing that would be great for what our family needs, right?
How old is the person who you're getting advice from?
How much money do they have? What are they doing? Right. There's so many factors. Goes on and on. Right. Absolutely.
Right? So it's not just what is someone giving me advice for. Advice is fine. Everybody's got advice because everybody's got a you-know-what also. But it doesn't mean that it actually works right.
And then the other one that I like too, it says access to better technology. And that what's funny about that is,
I think that's absurd.
Well, what's funny about that is
you're telling me you have better technology than me?
Well, that's the whole point, Rand. Exactly.
No, you don't.
That's exactly it.
And you don't have better access than
me. Exactly.
So either access to analysts, companies, data. Right. I mean, the list goes on
and on.
Right. I mean, the amount of people in which we talk to on a weekly, daily, quarterly basis, whether it be managers, economists, CFPs, I mean, whoever it is in the industry that we actually have to acquire data from in order to make a decision, as well as the help desks and the informational sources and platforms in which we pay for or we have behind us.
Right. It's not what a DIY is getting. They're not getting
even
that.
Close.
They're not getting that.
You know, so
you look up online, search it. If you can search it,
you know, jump on Copilot or ChatGPT or whoever it is, and you try to grab some of that information. And oh, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, just a word to the wise: there has been so many people that have walked through our office that basically said, "I looked this up on AI, and this is what they told me to do."
Yeah, right.
It was wrong.
Right, exactly.
So there's a little disclosure on the bottom of all those little platforms that basically says recheck the work or recheck the information in which you're receiving, because there are times when these are incorrect. Yeah. There's a lot of times when these are incorrect.
Right.
Right. And also AI, you're not supposed to get financial advice from artificial intelligence.
Right.
That's true.
Right? I mean, it's good to acquire information from lots of different sources, which there's no problem with that, right? But to say my portfolio is built from, ChatGPT, that's like saying I'm going to get brain surgery from ChatGPT and my 16-year-old's going to do it because he watched it on YouTube.
Yeah. And another one I think it's a really big one too is emotions. Like a DIYer, emotionally, oh, well, I did it because of this or whatever. We don't, or Randy doesn't. do things based on emotion as when he's doing his wealth management. That's just not
the last 6 months
right.
is another play-by-play for that exact scenario.
Exactly.
Right? So when you think about it, I mean, the year started with a dip. Mm-hmm. It actually went through tariff talk again.
Yeah.
Then it went through Iran.
Right.
Then we had a recovery.
Yep.
Then we had more information and noise about AI and CapEx and
right.
capital expenditures and is it worth it, and on and on and on. And we've had these fluctuations in value and these dips and drops and all these things that are going on. You don't know how many people that I've talked to that literally have their own little accounts on the side.
Yeah.
They'll call and say, "Oh my God, I'm out of the market."
Yeah.
What do you mean you're out of the market? You sold everything?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm back in. Then I'm out, and then I'm in, and then they're all
based
over
on
the
whatever
place
the news of the day is.
Exactly,
and
what it is.
the news of the day is crazy.
And my question to them always is, well, why did you make that decision?
Right.
What led you to that choice?
Well, the news said,
or I was watching this and I read that, and so it's not a strategy. What you're doing is basically you're licking your finger
on emotion.
You're holding it up to the wind, and whichever way it blows, you're figuring out that's what you're doing with your portfolio.
Right. Yeah,
not a way.
That is what Peggy just mentioned. It's the emotion, not the. I hate to even say intellectual intelligence. It's the experiences
right.
and the know-how and the expertise of understanding the way the market pulses.
Exactly.
And what to do when certain things happen, right?
We've had clients who come in, well, I like Facebook, so I'm going to buy Facebook. Or I don't like Boeing, so I'm not buying Boeing. Or I don't like, and that's not a rational way to...
It's in a chocolate bar.
No, it's not.
Right? So,
right.
I mean, it's the stupidest way to say it. Now, you do have some people that are very biased to what they will and will not do because of their own personal preferences.
Yep.
So, if, hey, I don't want to, I don't like big oil, or I don't want to be, or I want to be green, or whatever the hell it is, right? Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
You can develop a plan around those things.
Yeah.
But to just be 100% fixated on one item. For instance, I've worked for that company and I'm never selling that stock.
Yes, we've heard that.
That's asinine.
And we've heard that with many clients.
You know what I mean, right?
Yes.
Or like Peggy said, I love iPhone, so I'm buying Apple.
Yeah. Right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Or I'm on Facebook every day. I'm going to do Facebook.
So, Samsung and Nokia and Motorola and everybody else, they all suck.
Yeah.
Right? So only Apple. So, you have to have a broad idea of what you're doing. But also, the other thing is people chase things, right? So from an emotional standpoint, what they look at is, oh, wow, the chips. So next thing you know, they're chasing NVIDIA and Micron and all these places, and they dump all this money into one category or sector. And then lo and behold, what happens a few weeks later? There's a sell on the bank there because they've all now started to take profits and people are running on this thing. And you are 100% invested in one individual concentrated portfolio. You're going down with the ship.
Yeah.
Right? So, I mean, diversification goes out the window, balancing fund, reallocation, all that stuff goes out the window when you start to get pig-headed about it and you get greedy.
Yeah.
Right? There's that whole saying, pigs get slaughtered in the market.
Right.
It's absolute fact. When you get too greedy, you get slaughtered. And it's the emotion that takes over.
100%.
How would you like to, and we've actually brought this up a number of times. What is the conversation when a spouse is managing two spouses' portfolios and they lost 40% of their funds?
Right. And had everything in the same thing, right, Randy?
Correct.
Whatever was
Total
in the husband's
duplication.
was in the wife. So is that a smart move? Because when a ship goes down, they're all going down.
But that also happens, believe it or not, with other advisors that are managing spouses'
we
portfolios.
see that all the time. Like, why is it that this advisor has both of you in the exact same things?
portfolios?
Right, exactly.
Is that make sense? No, it doesn't make any sense. Shouldn't you be more diversified than this, right? And on top of that, are you the same? Are you the same person? Do you have the same risk tolerance, or a risk adverse?
We've seen a lot of that too, right?
So a lot of those things need to come into play from a strategy standpoint, but from a professional and expert planning scenario instead of just winging it.
Yeah.
So that's a different way to go there.
All right, let me ask you this as we kind of put a bow on this conversation about the pros and cons of DIY. If somebody needs some help and they're maybe a little afraid to call you because they're like, well, I've been trying to do it by myself, but I've made some mistakes. I'm a little intimidated, maybe a little bit embarrassed. How would you respond to them about coming to you after a DIY plan maybe didn't go the way that they intended?
We've built an entire practice over 30 years of picking up other people's pieces.
Exactly.
So our door is always open.
Yes.
We don't make judgment.
Right.
We basically say the past is the past. What you have is what you have. We can't go backward, but we can go forward.
And
so let's
see what
make
we
the
can
best
do.
of it.
Right, exactly.
Right. So you need to pick up the pieces of what's going on, but what you really don't want to do is continue on the same path that you're on.
Right. And don't be afraid of it. The fear. The fear is always the factor. Well, just keep doing it. So
it's like the saying, if you continue to do what you've always done, you'll continue to get what you've always gotten.
Right.
Right. So
but isn't that the definition of insanity?
It is.
Correct.
Doing the same thing?
I think it's one of them.
Yeah.
Doing the same thing
Peggy deals with those every day.
I do.
I call those my marriage pals. But
That's a good one. I like that.
Whatever
We
you
should
wanna
end on that, no?
You want to end there? I think that's a good place to end it on that one. I will say the one comment that I did want to make, go back to 2 seconds, is access to better technology. We all have the same technology. You have access to better software, specifically for the industry that you're in right there. So I think...
also, let me just capitalize on that 1 second there.
Yeah, sure.
Mark, is this. Let's say you have 2 tremendous surgeons, right? And they use the exact same scalpel. One's better than the other. Was it the scalpel?
No, it's the person
They both
behind
use the same damn thing,
person
right?
behind the scalpel, right?
So it's the person, it's the surgeon, or it's the professional
Who
who's
knows what
behind
they're doing, right?
Right?
Yeah.
You know, so that's really what it comes down to. I mean, I'll give you an example. I mean, this is a real true life example. We've actually switched dentists over the last number of years. We were with this person for like 25 years.
This
right?
guy, Mark, every time we went in, he said to the 5 of us in the family,
whole family.
every time we went in, someone had a cavity. A root canal. We had a
We call them Dr. Root
cavities.
Canal.
We did. We switched dentists for the last 5 years. You know, not one of us
have had a cavity.
Is that crazy?
Is that your doctor right there? Or is that is that the dryer? Because both of them sound the same.
No, that's the dentist
that's
calling in.
calling.
They're calling in already, Mark. We got them hot.
But I mean, it's the exact same thing. I mean, we got 2 different dentists in the same town, right?
Yeah.
One that's constantly wanting to drill in your mouth.
Yes,
and,
to make a couple bucks, I guess.
Yep.
Is it the way to go? And my mouth never felt better by changing dentists.
Because we haven't had to have a cavity in 5 years now.
No, I haven't had anybody drill in my mouth.
What the freak?
So, but again, it comes down to it's not just the tools, it's a matter of the craftsmanship of which you can utilize the tools or the expertise or the knowledge in which you actually have to develop those plans.
Absolutely.
The pros and the cons of a DIY retirement plan. Nothing wrong with being full of knowledge about what you're working on, but there's also nothing wrong with asking for a little assistance and guidance. And if you know somebody that needs some help with their financial future, we invite you to share this show with your friends, with your family. You can find all the information about Artemis Wealth Advisors and Liberty Financial Group. Find all of that here in the show notes. With that being said, Peggy, Randy, thank you. Thank you, as always, for the information and the education. We are back next week, but for the entire team, this has been the Real Retirees of New Jersey, all powered by Artemis Wealth Advisors and Liberty Financial Group.
We are an independent financial services firm helping individuals create retirement strategies using a variety of financial and insurance products to custom suit their needs and objectives. Investment advisor services offered through Artemis Wealth Advisors, a registered investment advisor. Exposure to ideas and financial vehicles discussed should not be considered investment advice or recommendation to buy or sell any financial vehicle. Past performance is not a guarantee of future results. Investments can fluctuate and when redeemed may be worth more or less than when originally invested. Artemis Wealth Advisors is not affiliated with nor endorsed by the Social Security Administration or any other government agency and does not provide legal or tax advice. Please consult with your attorney, accountant, and or tax advisor for advice concerning your particular circumstances. Annuity guarantees rely solely on the financial strength and claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company. By contacting us, you may be provided with information about insurance and annuity products offered through Randolph A. Fisher, insurance license number 9616074, and Liberty Financial Group, LLC, and Peggy Fisher, national license number 189-42003 and 570-5833.